Welcome to our friends at Zudilio after a brisk holiday season. How's everybody doing?
I like that.
A brisk.
That Carlton thing. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah,
Great.
welcome.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, it was fun. I did well. New Year's. I mean, don't even ask me the last time I went out on New Year's Eve. I just, those days are long behind me. But I had a decent dinner and just kind of went to bed and waited for the fireworks. So that's about it. But I've done a couple videos on what to expect in January, and I've kind of been saying over and over again, there's got to be a breakout, either in interest rates or in volume or in listings, something that is, wildly different from last year. Because we looked at pending listings this year compared to last year, and week after week, they were following each other. It was just creepy.
Yeah.
So I pulled up the MLS and I put this together, and the blue graph is 2025 and the red one is this year. So January 4th. And so the big one on the left here is just new listings. I pull these off the MLS. I go new listings, back on market, canceled and expired. So new listings are down, not by much, by about 190. Not significant. But look at back on market. 139 last year, 1,039. This year, 1,025. Wow. It's like they had a cap that they couldn't exceed.
Yeah.
Canceled is up. It's been that way all year. It's up about 100.
Yeah.
90 to 100. Okay. Expireds is up or down. They're minus 2,746 expired listings. And I pulled up today on the 5th and we got relatively the same number. So that's the only one that's different. That we end up netting. This is our net. So if you take new listings, back on market, subtract canceled, subtract expired, then I get a net number. So last year we were net positive listings 443. This week down 228. But so close. It's just fascinating to me. That
deja vu.
Yeah, and you sit and you go, well, I think this year is going to be okay. Last year we did this. I mean, that's week after week. Look at that.
Yeah. So similar.
I mean,
just running in parallel.
Yeah. I mean, you go back a couple of years back to 23. Now there's a difference. We're down. 21 is nuts.
Insane.
But and then the other thing I'm watching, I want to see, because price changes just dropped off. I mean, who's going to reduce their price week for Christmas? So
right.
I really want to see what's going to happen to this. So as you look ahead, I mean, what do we think is going to change this mirroring of last year, or will it?
I think something's going to need to be pretty significant for sellers to become motivated again to put their home on the market and get the price that they're hoping for, and for buyers to get off the fence. I mean, we know they're waiting, and we know that sub 6 rates would help them make that decision. But I think it's kind of, it's kind of like checkmate at this point. Sellers are saying, hey, we're not going to get what we want. We're not going to list. And buyers are saying, hey, if we can't get the payment we're looking for, we're not going to buy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, right?
I think the betting market is kind of saying that there may not be a rate cut in January, that they're going to continue to wait and see. We'll see what the bond market says about that. But even, I mean, I go and look at the mortgage MBS highway here, and we've gone down just a hair. I thought, well, what kind of impact has happened in the bond market when we arrest a Venezuelan dictator? And it's nothing.
Yep.
So
wasn't that shocking? And that's going to have some impact on things. But you're right.
Wake up in the morning and you go, what?
Yeah,
right, totally.
It was somewhat hard to wrap my mind around that all happened so quickly.
Yeah, an event like that I I can't think of the last time something like that is happened. It may be like the first time in our lifetime that we've arrested,
Yeah,
Well,
I
they-
saw I saw a list of things that were similar, and I want to say one of the most recent was the Bay of Pigs, and I'm going like that was
not even
well,
close.
Manuel Noriega out of Panama, they went to get him and arrest him, and he secured himself in his building and wouldn't come out. And the thing that finally broke him was we just had all these big speakers and they kept playing this awful music, and he finally broke down. He couldn't sleep through it. He couldn't, I don't know what they were putting rap music or Bing Crosby, but
that is interesting, because I heard that they would play Baby Shark in downtown areas where homeless would gather, and they would just continually play that
play it
Baby
over and
Shark
over
song, and
to
it would just
flee them.
psychologically make people go insane, and they would leave. So
like, we're out of here.
an
No more
interesting-
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
well, they learned that from Panama, I guess, but they got this
so.
whole operation done in 2
Interesting.
hours. And I thought that's going to move the market. I mean, weird stuff like that can move the market, and it's not.
Yet. Well, do you find it interesting that, so I was, rates went down to what, like 6.18% just before the new year, headed into the new year. I think that's where we're about at right now for that 30-year fixed. And it almost seemed to me that the market was pricing in a 25 basis point cut in January. They're thinking it's going to happen, because what else would have caused it to move?
Yeah, I mean, it's, they say they're waiting for jobs data because the first round of jobs data, nobody trusted. So
Right.
waiting for more of that. They're waiting for another CPI number. But CPI number was good, which would mean, okay, we can probably, inflation's better. We can probably lower rates, but maybe not. The jobs market is looking like it's getting hit pretty hard. So maybe we have to lower rates. And so it's, I don't see anything dramatic coming in the first quarter that is going to make what I just showed you change much. So, but it's not a bad market. It's a little nerve-wracking for sellers. But I looked at, and I got a little bit of clarification on this one just by reading this. Let me pull out my handy dandy magnifying glass. See that 356 per square foot on the green line?
Yes.
That is the price per square foot, asking price at the time of contract. The actual sales price is the bottom number. What I wish we could look at was, in other words, they listed their home and they started here.
What was that original?
Here.
Was that
Yeah,
seven,
the
was that
original.
7-8%?
Yeah, because this comes out like 97 point some odd percent. And I'm thinking, no, it's more than that.
That was after some price drops.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the MLS could do that, but, and they can. I suppose I can go in and look at that. I just going off Cromford data here, but it says right there, that this is the average list price per square foot at contract. And that's
Right.
So when you look and you go, well, everybody's getting 97.1% of their asking price. Yeah, but they're only getting the final asking price.
Yeah, well, if the average DOMs are 90 or whatever the average DOMs are, and how many price cuts they have during that time factor, right? That's not evaluated from the original list to time of contract.
Big difference.
But yeah.
Well, what is jumping up is back on market. From what I'm seeing now, seasonally, because if I look at my chart, it's not any different from last year. So you can see that people traditionally took their homes off during the holidays, and it's going to show up as a new listing if you leave it off for more than 45 days. So, so they left it off like through Christmas, and they immediately put it back on at the same rate as last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're just creatures of habit.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Well, and like Kayla was just talking about a moment ago with sellers and buyers, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? With cost and affordability to happen. I, for one, and one thing that we haven't mentioned on this, it's, maybe a little bit different, but I find it very curious, especially with the, Fed chair and his conversations, just at the drop of a hat, how fast things will change. Like you said, the CPI report will come out and it's not going to be as favorable, or jobs, right? Like, to me, that's a big one. Jobs, they have to lower interest rates. They don't have to, but more times than not, they're going to lower the interest rates if jobs are lower, because again, the largest employer in America is small business. And if they can't get access to money, they're not going to hire, et cetera. Not to mention the pressure by the administration to continually lower it. And then the biggest one to me that people don't talk about that much other than us is the fact that we just turned the printing presses back on. We're already pumping in 40 billion a month right now, or I think we did like 45 billion. And so one of the number one ways that they circulate that money and pump that money into economy is lower the interest rates, right? So the banks can circulate it and get it out there. So, I mean, I know that there's a lot of cool, supposed things coming down the market with stimulus, obviously a lot of the cool things that are going to be rendered for from the big beautiful bill, taxes, et cetera, that people should be getting higher tax returns, et cetera. So all of those things I think will wash out on an annual basis, but without a doubt, we definitely need to see affordability come into play. If affordability comes into play, which happens a lot of times from most economists' views, lower than 6, game on.
And I see the going to put a proposal to increase affordability with housing from the government. We're going to build on federal lands. We're going to ease permitting. Well, permitting's local.
Yeah.
So, the federal government can't do anything about that.
No.
And I hope it stays local. So lumber cost, maybe they can help with that. But, the builders haven't been building the small entry-level homes because there's not a big profit margin for them.
Right.
And the other ones at $550,000 are selling. And so I don't know what the government's going to do about that. I made a snarky comment last week that said, the government's going to help with affordability just like they did with healthcare.
Right.
Truth.
Stay out of it.
True.
Stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Well, will the administration announce the new Fed Gov that they're going to bring in? And will that stimulate a little bit? And then does the current Fed Gov understand that, hey, rates are going to be dropped as soon as the new Fed Gov comes in, and he wants to save face? So does he actually push to drop rates really quick? So he saves face.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Because if he holds on to it and push, and makes it look bad, and then all of a sudden, the economy starts to go bad, and then the new Fed comes in and drops rates, and the economy goes back up, and he has egg on his face. Does he think about that? Does he start to think about that right now? Like, what's my legacy?
Right.
Do I want to get ahead of it and I'll drop rates too up to it, and then so it looks like I started it?
Or is it too late to apologize?
That's a good one.
It might just be.
I love that.
Apologize. That's great. Here we are talking about the Fed. They're not supposed to be political, but we're talking about the political implications. And
well, I mean, it happens. I mean, that's how the interest rates move. I mean, a lot of it is political.
And that's where the macro,
primary is coming up, right? So, I mean, obviously, the current administration wants the economy to be roaring.
Yep.
By that time.
Well, something Rick you mentioned earlier on today is the Venezuela situation, and how does that impact everything? And I'd have to say that it will, and it's going to, and obviously it's too soon to tell how. But is that the trump card?
The money markets have responded very confidently so far with that happening.
Yeah,
Actually,
Bitcoin surged. The markets.
The stock market, everything. Like all markets so far have responded positively.
Which is interesting because markets normally don't like uncertainty. Maybe they don't view this as having any uncertainty.
Well, I mean, when you have control of a country, you have
oil.
certainty.
Oil, right? Well,
So,
it's like what, $15 trillion or something of
they
oil.
took control
it's like
of
some
it.
crazy amount.
Yeah.
I have a high school classmate.
trillion.
Definitely a power play.
I had a high school classmate decided to live in Venezuela, and he he'd work in the United States 6 months, go to Venezuela 6 months, kind of an odd bird. But he told us a couple of years ago that you really had to keep a low profile, and even on your social media or anything, because they were targeting Americans, and they would plant weapons in your house when you were not home.
Oh, wow.
Then come by and go, what's this? So, you know, you just had to, go to the market, keep your mouth shut. I go, Forrest, get out of there. Oh, I kind of like
know. Why would you even go back?
You're right.
Senoritas.
There's a draw.
Yeah. They wouldn't fess up, but we think that's what it was all about. So, but,
too funny.
So now you can go, hey, Forrest, you're 70. You can come home now. Just give it up.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to watch, and whether or not this, and I'm not trying to get political, but I'm saying here's some noise out there that could expand or contract, and that could affect markets. And will there be something inside of that noise that'll release a breakout in our real estate market? I had a video the other day where somebody commented and goes, he just said, he's wrong. Look at gold and silver. And I just commented, I go, I'm just talking about the real estate market. Thanks for watching.
Well, I have a question for all you guys. So obviously there was a lot of Venezuelans that were displaced and moved to the United States, right? And a lot of them in the Florida area. Do a lot of them go back? And then all of a sudden there's a lack of housing,
an opportunity,
or not lack of housing, but more housing, oversupply of housing in Florida. And
I don't think immediately. I mean, Venezuela's been so devastated that there's not much to go back to currently. So I don't see them, they're not booking flights anytime soon. So maybe, but it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
And so,
but do they feel safe enough to go there and start a new life, or move back to their family?
But that'll be very segmented. That'll be Southern Florida,
from
probably.
A totalitarian environment.
Or do more Venezuelans leave Venezuela and come to the U.S.
because it's uncertain?
Because they're refugees and displaced. Yeah.
Who knows?
A lot happening.
And then there's Canada.
Yes. And there's Greenland.
The over 55 market is sluggish. In fact, my brother was walking. He said he went for his walk. He's in Cathedral Springs, which is by Palm Springs. He's in an over 55 park. And he sent a text. He said, just finished my walk. 52 places for sale, 19 for rent in this Airbnb spot. I go, he said, I said, well, that's a little more than last year. He goes, yep. I said, I don't have the data, but I suspect it's Canada.
They're not investing in U.S. real estate like they once were.
No,
they aren't. And then they're not happy with our president. So some of them are just leaving. But some of them, quite honestly, the majority of the Canadian purchases we had here were about 2012. Okay. So they bought down here when they were retired. Now you're talking, 13 years later, time to sell and go back home, be by the kids. So it's demographic and it's political, but regardless, it's really slowed down the over 55 markets. Everything from mobile home parks to Sun Lake, Sun City West, Sun City. The numbers I see, they've got the highest month supply versus most of the markets. So, so the geopolitical stuff can really kind of mess with certain markets. And I think also going back to, we're going to increase building. I don't think we have a building shortage here.
I think we've been sold that. I think we've been sold that line, and it's something that
we're 3 million homes short.
Right. 4 million homes short, and
isn't there about a 9-month supply of new builds here in the Valley?
Yeah, exactly. I think what we're short of are entry-level homes. Yeah. That's what we're short of. Right. We're not short of homes in general. It's affordable homes.
Which are tiny homes, right?
Which are all the built for rents.
Just to have like a tiny home community with like a whole new community, like a master plan community of tiny homes.
It would be so popular.
It would.
Hey, you got a lot of these malls.
He was talking about getting some land and doing that, but But he was kind of one of these guys, had a lot of ideas and it never came to fruition. But I thought it was a
Gotta
decent
execute.
idea. Yeah. You got to have money. So
Yeah, well, or
know how to raise it.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. Or have the skill set to go find it.
OPM, other
Yep.
people's money. If you have money you want to invest, the four of us here, we could probably come up with some pretty cool ideas. So,
all right. I'm all ears.
so hit
All
Rick
ears.
up and put us to work. Let's go develop
Oh,
something.
that's
You want
cool.
to?
Well, hey, I'll see what I can do. I'll put on my thinking cap. I've got a interview I'm trying to set up today for a gentleman that has been very actively involved with the city council as a non-city council member following this water bill fiasco they have in Gilbert. And he's been attending a lot of the back office meetings. So I'm hoping I can come out with that before the end of the week. And because that's a mess. I mean, you guys live in Gilbert?
We do not. Our office is in Gilbert, but Elliot's in Chandler.
I'm in Chandler.
We're in Queen Creek, but we've been following it. And so I'm going to be really curious, and we'll definitely tune into your episode with him.
Yeah, there was one lady that said that her water bill is normally $900 a month, which made me go, what?
900?
That's insane.
No,
Yeah, does she have
Does she have an
does she
acre
have
of grass
major
or
property?
what?
no, get this. Normally, she said it's $900 a month, but she got a bill for $3,400.
Holy moly.
What?
What for what is she using water for?
That's insane.
Well, they don't know. I mean, and this is what I hope to talk to the guy about. They don't know if it's a problem with the new meters they put in, the computer system that figures out the bills. Is it changing the rate? They had to hire an outside consultant to take a look at this. And I'm thinking, I don't know. It doesn't seem that complicated to me. You charge so much per gallon. Okay. Did that change?
What
First
was
and
your
foremost?
use?
Well, I mean,
Is the
900. That's
Is
crazy.
the meter running incorrectly in the way they read the data and the way it goes into the system? So I'm sure there's a lot of brilliant people in the Gilbert City Council, and they're scratching their head going, let's bring somebody in. I don't get this. But in the meantime,
they bought the meters from they bought the meters from Europe, maybe, and it's liters.
They got them off.
They're on the liters instead of gallons.
Yeah, liters.
They're powered by a hamster.
Oh wait, those are liters. Okay, sorry about that.
Change the conversion in the back end of there we go.
Problem solved.
Yeah. And and that wasn't dollars, that was pesos.
Yeah.
So gang, it was great to catch up. I hope we can do this again next week and
yes,
see what happens, see if anything changes. If anything changes, we're going to let you know.
Yeah, if you're looking to invest, Tiny Ranch, right? We're going to start Tiny Ranch.
Oh, we got a couple of prime
Power
locations.
Ranch. I'm going to Tiny Ranch
Let's
now.
do Tiny Ranch, Rick. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Let's do
Prime
it.
locations.
Have a great
All
week.
right. See y'all.
See you.
Take
See you,
care.
Rick.